What do jurors consider when they come up with a multi-million-dollar verdict? Do they just pick a number out of the air? Do they just listen to some ambulance chaser and say, 4.5 million? Well, that sounds real nice. No. In fact, a judge would overturn a jury verdict if there was no basis for it. So what do they consider? Well, the three main categories are economic damages, non-economic damages, and punitive damages. So economic damages are going to be like lost wages, lost future earning potential. If I make $150,000 a year and I have another 30 years to work, and I don't ever expect to get a raise, I am always going to make that 150. Let's forget about interest and inflation and all those other good things. That's still $4.5 million. So they consider those lost wages under economic damages. But then they also have to consider medicals. What are my medical bills and what are my future medical bills? It cut off my leg. If it cut off my leg, now I have to get a prosthetic. And then I'm going to have to get a new prosthetic and then a new prosthetic. So I have future medicals that I'll have to pay for, and those are considered. How long am I going to live? Is this going to shorten my life? So those are the economic damages. But what about the non-economic damages? Well, that would be like loss of enjoyment of life, loss of consortium. So loss of enjoyment of life. Everybody on here knows I like to fly. I post flying videos. But if I lose a leg, I can't operate the rudder pedals. Now, I could probably get a special issuance from the FAA, maybe, and then I'd have to get a plane retrofitted. I couldn't just go rent a plane. So I would have some great difficulty in doing the things that I enjoy. Snow skiing. There's a lot of things that I might enjoy doing I could no longer do. So that is what those non-economic damages are. And then punitive damages. Oh, loss of consortium, y'all don't know what that is? That's the intimacy that you have with a partner. So my wife, we might not be able to get intimate the way we used to, and now she's not just a partner, she's a caregiver. And so that is a loss of consortium. Now, let's talk about those punitive damages. If the bar did something that was outrageous, like they grossly overserved, there were people saying, please, he's drunk, don't let him leave, and they let him leave anyway. There's a lot of little things that can lead to a punitive award. So those are the three categories. That's how they come up with these multi-million-dollar verdicts. It's not just picked out of thin air, and it's not just some plaintiff's attorney. There's evidence going to be presented on both sides, and then 12 people have to agree. That's how it happens.